Peter Obi is in big trouble now. Peter Obi is in trouble. Yeah, and it's not about Labour Party. This is not about politics. This has to do with Fidelity Bank. Many of you don't know that Peter Obi is the chairman. Peter Obi is the chief shareholder of Fidelity Bank. Majority shares, virtually the owner of Fidelity Bank. And this Fidelity Bank now is in a very big financial problem. I'm telling you, because right now, the Supreme Court has given a very big judgment against the bank, of which they are going to pay over 300 billion, you heard me right, billion naira to a company named Sagecom for an issue I'm about to reveal to you here. Many people argue that if Fidelity Bank end up paying this huge amount of money, the bank is going to crash. Though Fidelity Bank has come out to debunk this news by saying that yes, they know that there is a case that has been awarded against them, but they are not going to crash, that they are still strong, so investors should not be afraid of their money they kept in the bank. They have released that statement. Even Central Bank has come out to release a statement also saying that all the banks in Nigeria are okay. It doesn't take away, the Fidelity Bank still say that they are studying the judgment to know what to do next. So this does not take away the fact that there is a problem right now with Fidelity Bank, and this may affect Peter Obi himself, because that is exactly one of the major companies that he owns and has huge amount of money in. But the problem is, what happened and what got Fidelity Bank to this point they are in? What kept them in this huge financial mess? So you have to work with me, because I'm going to reveal to you gradually how Fidelity Bank got to where they are today. You will be shocked. So stay with me and see this problem, because there is a huge twist inside it. Please like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel. Now let's go. In early 2000, there was a company named FSB International Bank. This FSB was among the many banks we had in Nigeria then, including Standard Trust Bank, a lot of Oceanic Bank, a lot of banks that were there in Nigeria before Soludo came and merged all the banks together. This FSB bank was existing. Now, here comes a company called G Kappa PLC. G Kappa PLC needed money for a project. They are a big company. And they went to FSB International Bank and said, we need so and so amount of money. Actually, $3 million and another 100 million naira. They went to FSB Bank. FSB Bank, please, we need some money. FSB Bank said, okay, do you have any collateral? They say, yes, we are a big company. We have a lot of collateral, and they provided lots of collateral in terms of property, equipment, and land, and gave FSB Bank. FSB in turn gave them the loan of $3 million and 100 million naira. Along the line, G Kappa PLC failed to pay the loan. They actually defaulted on their loan. In between this whole thing, Fidelity Bank took over FSB International and took over FSB assets and liabilities, including this whole loan issue, inherited it from FSB, and went to pursue the matter, also with G Kappa. G Kappa, we are the new owners of FSB now. We heard that you are owing us some money. Why have you not come to pay? And G Kappa, because they didn't have any money, they defaulted on the loan. Then Fidelity Bank, because of the collateral that they had in possession of G Kappa, went and sealed the properties, took over the properties and put many of them for sale to recover their money. But G Kappa was not having all this, and they went to court. They went to court to say, court, oh, please, we are owing Fidelity Bank money and they are trying to sell our property. We say we are going to pay, but we don't have money. Please help us and stop this thing they are doing. And the court granted the company's request and gave an injunction telling Fidelity Bank to stop all the sale and stop all the things that they are doing. But something happened. The Fidelity Bank refused to listen, and they went ahead and sold many properties to another company called Sagecom. Now, enter Sagecom. Sagecom entered and bought off properties worth of 350 million naira from Fidelity Bank, who took over G Kappa's property. as they bought that property from Fidelity Bank, before some time, they found out that there was an injunction on those properties, and they may have just made a wrong decision of buying those properties from Fidelity Bank because the court have already said that Fidelity Bank should stop, sale of any property belonging to G Kappa. Then Sagecom went back to Fidelity Bank and said, please, we heard that there's a case in court and this property you sold to us is already in court. Why did you sell it to us, knowing very well that there's a court injunction that you have an issue between you and G Kappa PLC? Please give us our money back. We are not buying again. Fidelity Bank said, no, we are not giving you the money back. That was where the problem started. Then Sagecom took Fidelity Bank to court. And they went to court to reclaim back their money, and even the interest, because that money they took. Sagecom claimed that they actually borrowed that 350 million, which is accruing 19.5% interest every per annum, actually. And they went to court so that court can help them to recover the money back from Fidelity Bank, because Fidelity Bank refused to pay back that money to Sagecom, because Sagecom claimed that they bought that property, in ignorance, not knowing very well that there was already a court issue and they don't want any problem. They have been on this case for years, and any court they go to will tell Fidelity Bank to pay. Fidelity Bank refused. They went to appeal court. Appeal court also gave judgment to Sagecom again, telling Fidelity Bank to pay. Fidelity Bank refused. This matter has been dragging on for close to almost 20 years now. Almost 20 years. And Supreme Court now has now seen reason with the High Court and Appeal Court and still granted the same judgment as at this. Recently now, Supreme Court also granted judgment to Sagecom, telling Fidelity Bank to pay. But the problem is now that they have calculated all the amount of money from the first day this loan started, which was 350 million, calculated it using the dollar money as at that day, which is 1,620 per annum, 19.5%. With that capital of 350 million naira, everything now landed at over 300 billion naira. That is where Fidelity Bank finds itself. And you can see it very clearly. The Supreme Court is the last court. There is no way forward. Now Fidelity Bank have to pay that huge amount of money. So tell me, how is the bank going to survive paying such amount of money? So you see why I said Peter Obi is in big trouble, because he's a majority shareholder and that money is going to affect him. I don't want to involve politics in all this because you know Nigeria very well. There's a lot of politics going on in everything. Maybe you're the one that will tell me that in comment section if you think this is political or if you think this is just a mistake on the part of Fidelity Bank. Because the court even said it. The Supreme Court blamed Fidelity Bank, say, why did you disobey the court injunction that told you to stop sale of these properties that don't belong to you until we judge this matter? So the High Court said the same thing. Supreme Court said the same thing, that they are angry with Fidelity Bank because Fidelity Bank took matters into their own hands. So do you think this was just a gross negligence of Fidelity Bank, or maybe it can just be politics? Knowing very well that Peter Obi is the owner of Fidelity Bank, that's left for you to judge. But personally speaking, I have gone through this case. I have read it very well. I have studied it very well. I see a case of when something wants to happen to somebody, that day, he will not hear his name when they're calling him. This was a very clean case that Fidelity Bank could have won if they were very smart. But arrogance. After all, who is this one? Do you know who we are? We are Fidelity Bank. We are big. We have influence everywhere. But sometimes there's some things that you cannot do in court. When a case is so obvious, so clear, sometimes it may take time. You can only drag the case, but one day, definitely, the truth will surely prevail. These are the things that happen in the country every day. What stops you? Why would the court give an injunction and you decide not to obey it? Now you are suffering the consequences because you cannot overrule Supreme Court judgment. And how are you going to pay over 300 billion naira? Peter Obi is the chairman. Definitely, this is going to be his own loss, because definitely he is the one that is going to pay this money, because any money being paid from Fidelity Bank is going to affect Peter. So what does Fidelity Bank want to do now? We are watching the bank to see what they are going to do. So, but personally, I just want, if you have an account with the Fidelity Bank, just be very careful, because these are very trying times. We've heard this before. But before then, the Fidelity Bank released a statement. Look at the statement they released, saying that the bank is okay and they are, working on seeing how they can settle this matter without any problem. And even the CBN has released a statement also, which you can see, saying the same thing. So, definitely, the other day, Heritage Bank had issues. And, it wasn't that easy for people that had lots of money there. I don't know how that one was solved. I know very well that definitely Fidelity Bank is capable enough of handling this matter, even financially. But there is no bank that will be forced to pay such amount of money that is not going to really shake or have an issue. But I pray that they come out of this, because it is not good for any bank in Nigeria to have such issues. And this is the problem of this country: impunity. This is a problem Fidelity Bank brought upon themselves, and I know that they will surely get out of it. I'm waiting to see the role Peter Obi is going to play in all this, to see how this matter is resolved politically or otherwise. Like I said before, though this matter has been going on for years, why is it now that this judgment has just been given? Why is it few years to the election that this judgment is given? Could there be something political in it, or is it just normal judgment that did not favor Fidelity Bank, knowing very well that Peter Obi himself, a very huge opposition to the political power in power, is the chairman and virtually the owner of Fidelity Bank? Please tell me in the comment section what you think about the intrigues in all this. Like, share, subscribe. I have been your host, Chi Ne Du. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one. Peace.